Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for June 2nd. We are looking at the US Japanese yen pair first. This particular pair formed an inside bar during this past session, and we have the potential for a breakout. This pair has definitely just been moving sideways over the last couple of sessions. Biased is definitely sideways at this time. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 97.37, possibly as low as 94.56. Look for some resistance around 96.30 and look for some support around 95.26 in this particular pair. Now switching over to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair moved higher during this last session. The bias is to the upside, definitely moving higher overall. We are looking for this pair to potentially hit some resistance and move as high as 1.4350, possibly as low as 1.4251, hitting support at that level. Now switching over to the pound US dollar pair, this pair continues to move higher, definitely has a bias to the upside, and this overall trend to the upside is continuing. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 166.50, possibly as low as 163.20. Look for some resistance around 166.00 and look for some support around 164.39 in this particular pair. Now switching over to the US Swiss, this pair moved lower today. It closed pretty much right at previous support, but we could definitely see this pair moving lower in this next session. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 1.0800, possibly as low as 1.0600. Now look for some resistance around 1.0750 and look for some support around the 1.0600 level. Now, looking as far as news announcements, what occurred this past session, we had the Australian rate decision released. They held rates at 3%, so it really didn't affect the overall currency pair all that much. The Swiss released their GDP for the first quarter. It was better than expected, at least for the first quarter, at negative 0.8% from an adjusted 0.6 or negative 0.6%. Year to date, though, things have worsened, is worse than expected, moving from negative 0.6% to negative 2.4%. Now, looking ahead, we have the Eurozone releasing their GDP for the first quarter at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is for the first quarter that things have stayed the same at negative 2.5%. Year to date, they're looking at a hold at negative 4.6%. Now, what am I looking for during this next session as far as potential trades? Take a look at the US Canadian dollar pair. This particular pair formed a swing trade during this last session. It's a fairly steep trend line if you draw it. Nonetheless, we have one here. We have basically we're looking for a buy above the 1.0892 level. If you take the high, you can get about 80 pips. Let me show you what that looks like. There we go, that's pretty close. Take out this high here and we're sitting right around the 80 mark. So if you want to look for 80 pips within that trade, you should be able to get it if we get a break of that trend line, and just go ahead and use a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio for that potential trade. But if this particular pair pulls back, we could definitely get that move. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.